Thousands of square miles of shifting mud, silt, and rushing water defined the ancient Bengal Delta. Here, geography was never permanent. With every major monsoon, the flow of water carved new banks and erased old ones. Ruling this region meant fighting the tides and the floods before a leader could even think about battling rival armies. This map differentiates the highly active aquatic river zones from the older, elevated terrain known as the Red Soil Tracts. To build a civilization here, early settlers had to read both the water and the earth. Mastering this volatile geography was the prerequisite for political survival. The early rulers of the Vanga kingdom anchored their settlements on the elevated, stable red clay of the Barand Tract. Over time, political power migrated south. Later dynasties, like the Khadga rulers in Samatata, pushed directly into the aquatic zones. They engineered settlements to rely on water, using twisting channels as defensive moats, and organized their cities along banks for trade. Archaeological records prove these aquatic kingdoms thrived. Unearthed copper plates and the brick foundations of ancient stupas document an organized society operating deep within the floodplains. These early states established the physical groundwork for the larger empires that followed. In the 13th century, Turkish commanders arrived in Bengal, establishing new administrative centers and taking control of the region. They designed capitals like Lucknow and Sonargaon to manage the unpredictable waterways, employing advanced embankments and artificial lakes to control seasonal floods. These waterways formed impassable barriers to outside invaders, while simultaneously connecting local merchants to a global maritime trade network. The wealth generated by this riverborne trade funded elaborate structural projects, evidenced by the detailed terracotta carvings found on these brick facades. The sultanates thrived by turning the delta's primary hazard, its water, into their main economic engine. Further south, the environment grew more hostile. The 15th century coastline was dominated by the Sundarbans, a dense mangrove forest populated by tigers and prone to violent cyclones. Reclaiming this land required organized effort. A Sufi warrior saint named Khan Jahan led an initiative to clear the jungle and expand civilization into the mangroves. Surviving here required specialized engineering. As seen at the 60-dome mosque, massive red brick structures were built alongside vast reservoirs to secure fresh drinking water amidst the saltwater tides. Looking at this archaeological map of the region, the density of the settlements becomes clear. These clustered mounds and ruins document the extensive footprint of Khan Jahan's city, Khalifabad. Khalifabad stands as a physical record of human engineering succeeding against an aggressive ecosystem. In the early 17th century, the Mughal Empire pushed eastward, intent on securing the rebellious Bengal province. Governor Islam Khan realized that military control of the province required his fleets to command the major river networks. He bypassed older, inland cities and established a new capital, Jahangirnagar, modern-day Dhaka, directly on the banks of the Buriganga River. This aerial view of the Lal Bagh Fort complex showcases how the Mughals built symmetrical gardens and imposing brick structures immediately adjacent to the waterways to project imperial authority. Jahangirnagar operated as a strategic maritime fortress, allowing Mughal naval fleets to rapidly deploy across the delta. For centuries, human ambition mapped itself onto this terrain, leaving behind the foundations of Vanga, the terracotta mosques of Kalifatabad, and the forts of the Mughals. This antique survey map charts the complex network of waterways. When rivers changed course or silted up, the megacities built on their banks decayed. Even the formal boundaries of these empires were dictated by water, following the exact path of major channels. While kings and imperial governors laid claim to the people, it was the constantly shifting water that ultimately governed the land. The delta continues to write its own geography today. To explore more deep dives into the history of human civilization and geography, subscribe to the Akhara Study channel.